Hello everybody, I'm Stormy here, and today we're going to be starting up a new series of Hearts of Iron 4. Now, after the conclusion of my last series, which was in Millennium Dawn and playing as Greece, I held a poll to decide what the next nation and mod and ideology that we were going to play, and the hands-down winner of that poll was to continue playing in Millennium Dawn, and to play as Germany, and to go nationalist. So that is what we are going to be doing, a nationalist German playthrough in Millennium Dawn. And the objective, as always, is going to be to conquer the world, or to gain complete and utter dominance over it. I don't tend to go for complete world conquests because it just kind of gets boring for me towards the end. So once we get to a point where there's no further opposition that could potentially challenge us, then we'll probably call it there, which means all opposing ideologies must be destroyed. So we must destroy all emerging nations, either puppet them or conquer them. Well, puppet them in that we forcibly convert their ideology over to nationalist and then puppet them, or we destroy them, absorb them, annex them. Also, all factions other than ours, should we join a faction or create a faction, or must be eliminated as well. And speaking of factions, I guess the rule that we'll impose on ourselves is that any faction that we are a part of, ultimately, toward the end of the game, we must be the leader of that faction. Either one we create ourselves, or one that we forcibly take over from the inside. So we'll see how things progress. As far as game rules, I did make some alterations to the game rules. The biggest one is I went and set every single nation that I could to random. So we have absolutely no idea what is going to happen here, or who's going to do what. So that should hopefully be interesting. Oh, the other thing is I did turn the edgy flags on, so just be aware of that. Because I don't have any problem with it. Alright, well, let's dive in and see what we've got our hands on here with Germany. Alright, let's first off get all of our divisions into an army, and we'll just sort it out. We only got 13 divisions. All of them are mechanized. Panzer Grenadier Brigade. Let's take a look at what we've got. Template. Self-propelled artillery, mechanized infantry, and tanks. We have armored infantry here as well. I mean, it's not a bad unit. We do have one. I'm gonna butcher. Gebirgsjäger Brigade? What are you? You're just light infantry. Alright. We'll sort out what it is we're going to do. We're going to take a look at all of our templates and figure out what we're going to do. Alright, research. Ooh. 6 research slots. Alright, now this is the current version of the game and the current version of the mod as of the recording of this episode. And this is the version of the game and the version of the mod that we are going to be sticking with. We're not going to be changing it. So, armored vehicles. That's because, yeah, we have the whole new tank system. Yes. Where we have the modular tank designer, just like the naval designer, which I have been wanting them to put in for quite some time. So I'm glad to see they did it. I think they also did it for planes. Now, is that implemented into this mod? I don't think it is. space technology. We have an orbital launch vehicle. Kind of an older one. It might be worth working on trying to get that done. We do have nuclear power plants. And we do actually have a nuclear warhead that we can make. We also have conventional warheads. Anti-runway bomblets, cluster munitions. Okay, what do we have as far as ballistic missiles? Interregional ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. We don't actually have any of those. MIRVs. Okay. I think the initial priority is going to be get our infantry equipment and technology up to date. We are pretty good on actual guns. Improved anti-tank weapons. Let's go for that. Modern special forces. It'd take a long time. We'll put one slot on this project. One slot we want to have on improving our just overall technological capabilities. Research speed increase. Yes. Next slot, we need to work on construction, extraction, production efficiency, all that kind of stuff. That needs to be brought up to snuff. All right. Let's get that going. Let's see, what do we got as far as tanks? Early Leopard 2 hull. We don't have the late Leopard 2 hull. So let's work on that. We're caught up on recon. I guess these recon tanks? What are these? And utility vehicles. These are armored fighting vehicles. Amphis. I'm going to have to look into how all of that's going to work. What do we currently have? And where do we want to go? First generation ERA. We should probably get that. Alright, let's work on that. Alright, civilian factories. We have a bunch. Well, that's good. How's the economy? Weekly balance is positive 0.277 billion. Let's get some office sectors under construction. Let's go with some office sectors. Let's go with some civilian industry. All right. Pretty basic. Actually, let's also work on some... Oh, no, we're maxed out on network infrastructure for the time. Oh, except for here. Let's do that. Let's work on improving our base infrastructure. We'll just... make that a national project to upgrade and maintain our infrastructure. And if we're not doing anything else more important. Alright, we have no military production undergoing. Or ongoing. Let's let the game run here for just a second. President of the European Spain will now hold the office of President of the European Central Bank. Oh yeah, we're going to be a member of the EU. And we're also a member of NATO. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Okay, no, this hasn't actually... Their equipment hasn't actually filled in yet. Interesting. Well, let's just... We have 17 military factories. Let's just queue in things that we know we're going to need. We know we're going to need small arms. We know we're going to need... this equipment. Command and control equipment. We know we're going to probably need utility vehicles. As many of them as we can get our hands on. Mounted ATGMs. Is that like a Martyr A1 or something like that? We know we're going to need our base artillery. We're going to need trains. Yes. ATGMs, man pads. You know, we might as well just go ahead and throw everything in here. Just one line of everything. What do we have for tanks? Weasel 2 AWC recon tanks. 2005. Nononyag Panzer is obsolete, so obsolete that. Roland 1 self-propelled AA. 1985. That will need to get upgraded here, but we have them, so let's make them. EZH 2000 self-propelled artillery pieces. Sure. Lav 300 IFVs. Yes. Leopard 2A5 tanks. Martyr 1A5. IFV hull. That's actually obsolete now. TPZ-1 Fouche. It's an APC. Alright. We have 3 military industries yet left that we can distribute. What do we have for aircraft? We have Eurofighter 2000 DA5s for multi-roles. Yep. Typhoon IP3s for air superiority, sure. And whatever else. What else do we have? Alpha Jet light jets. Navia Tornado IDS strike fighters. Attack helicopters. Eurocopters. You know what? Let's go with the attack helicopters. Oh. You were out. Okay, no problem. Ships. Convoys. We need to have convoys all undergoing construction. We have 4 dockyards. Okay, so let's get... I don't even know what we have and what we need. We're gonna need more dockyards, that's for sure. Miko 360 class, 360 H2 variant, 1990 destroyer hull. We don't need the 1965. Oh, yeah. That's one thing I didn't even look at was the naval tech. What have you got? Light guns, anti-submarine, mortar launchers, some close weapon, sea whiz, some torpedoes, anti-ship missiles, some anti-aircraft missiles, and some more anti-submarine missiles. It's a pretty decent all-around ship. We'll put that in production. We have 2 frigates. Oh, actually, no, this Bremen class we can obsolete. It's an old... Are you guys basically the same? Anti-ship, anti-air, torpedoes. You actually have vertically launched anti-aircraft missiles. Light chain guns. Like, these are actually a better CWIS. Okay. I don't have any... Yeah, we'll get the Brandenburg class under construction. It's going to take forever to make one, but... we'll have the frigate line there. What about corvettes? We just have basic generic hulls. Hold on. Is that actually designed out? It is. Anti-aircraft only. But you know what? We'll build them. And what do we have? We have... well, that's not really a thing. Type 209 class submarines. Alright, what does that look like? Torpedoes. It's a diesel electric. ESM-1. Okay. Build them. Alright. There we are. Oh, we need to pick a national focus. We are going to be wanting to run to the nationalist side, which I did look this over a little bit before starting, which means we want to go down this direction. German nationalism. Down here. Actually, specifically down this path here. And of course we have all the EU stuff that we need to deal with, which we're going to try and get ourselves out of the EU, I'm thinking. We're not going to be trying to convert the EU into a monarchy or anything like that. It might be a path we take at some point. Like if I go like Austria-Hungary, try and reestablish the Habsburgs or something goofy like that. We'll see. This gives me tons of political power. Do I need it? Because we need to go coal industry compromise, international business to start down this path. Seize opposition weakness. Homegrown. These are not mutually exclusive. We also need Angela Merkel here. So we do have to go down like all of these paths here. Adds building slots, adds civilian industry, civilian industry. This is all civilian industry. What about like, put this there. Form. This is all research. Let's head down the industrial path first. Let's work on building up our industry. We're going to need to bring in some resources. I guess we'll get some rubber from... Is there anybody who's closer? Cote d'Ivoire. We'll just buy it from Indonesia. For now. Tech metals. France will now hold the office of President of the European Commission. Alright. Chile. Right. And precious metals. We could get them from Russia. Get them from Congo. Fine. Civilian spice had access from France. You know, we'll accept this for now until we have our own systems in place. Speaking of, do we have anything in orbit? We do have some stuff in orbit. We have some selection of comsats and spy sats, but nothing really kind of worthwhile. Let's see. Orbital launch vehicle. We have a 1985 orbital launch vehicle. Payload mass 6,000 kilograms. We can. Yeah, we are on 1 megabit. We have 30 satellites in orbit. We have no global navigation system of our own. We have a couple of recon sats. Nothing really of any note. Alright. Well, I guess we might look at comsats. What do we have? We have 1995 comsats. Is that what we currently have in orbit? This is 10 megabits per second. 10 megabit per second communication satellite systems. How many do we need to have in orbit to be able to switch to that? Greater than 15. We do not have more than 15. Alright, let's work on it. I don't have a ton of civilian industry, so I can't get crazy. Do Do we know how much these mass? 4.5 tons. Our orbital launch vehicles can put how much in orbit? 6 tons. So only be able to launch one at a time. Five factories for 180 days of production. That sounds good. We're going to need 10 launch vehicles to put them in orbit. And we'll build those. All right. The U.S. is offering military global navigation satellite access. We'll take it. France is offering military spy sat access. Yeah, well, we'll say yes to everything for now. Anything we need to do here? Not really, not yet. Research slots. Research capability of our country is determined by 2 factors. This is new. Total industry size and global development level. GDP per capita. Research slots from industry size 3. Expand laboratories. Gain 1 research slot. Oh. GDP per capita. Let's see. Yeah, I got the EU. I'm not that worried about the EU stuff right now because we're going to try and get out of it. The only thing would be to launch a Euroscepticism campaign. 0.1. Don't really have the money to do that right now. Speaking of, this is coal bombing. Speaking of, okay, we do have some equipment shortages. Where are we at? Our personnel carriers. Italy wants to help us build infrastructure. We're going to decline on that. Chechnya has been annexed. Right now, we're $2 trillion in debt. All right, seize opposition weakness. Requires one of the following. Utilize SPD influence in Lower Saxony. Adds 2 building slots. Costs us $5 billion to do that. We're going to do it. What is our current tax position? Print money? No. We could stand to increase corporate tax rates just a little. 0.82 billion. Mass protests in Iran. Iran is facing mass protests this week as the people come out in droves to retaliate against the recent crackdown on small demonstrations in the north of the country. Protesters are marching on the capital, Tehran. They have asked for the and have for the most part begun fighting the security forces in an attempt to push them out of the city. Supreme Leader has enabled a complete lockdown after dark, and the IRGC has been set in orders to take anyone that's seen after a lockdown hours. This new wave of protests has sent shockwaves across the Middle East and the rest of the world, as Iranians only recently had brought the Islamic Republic into power, and now they are trying to take them out. As I said, I randomized everybody, so... Now we can probably afford. We have lots of influence. Nothing that's really a concern at the moment. Let's do a Euroscepticism campaign, and it was a success. Civilian spy site access to the United States. Civilian global navigation access to the United States. Military spy sets. Britain cedes the Falkland Islands. In an absolutely stunning surprise move, the government in London has decided to end the centuries-old conflict between Britain and Argentina and return the Falkland Islands as well as South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands to Argentina. The Argentinians had laid claim to the Falklands in 1833, to South Georgia in 1927, and the South Sandwich Islands in 1936. The Argentinian government was overjoyed, promising a new age of Argentine-British relations. All right, so we're pretty well set up. Just kind of go through a lot of that. We're low manpower. We'll work on that once we can improve our budget. Yeah, we're all set up pretty well. And so, we'll go ahead and end this first episode here. So, for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.